What's good, y'all? We're back with some NBA content. Um, if you were there for our roots of episode one, started off with the NBA. This just the three amigos right here. We're gonna be talking the NBA all season, man. I'm so excited. This is my favorite sport personally. Uh, I'm a league pass watcher. I deep dive this thing, man. But we're gonna start with the Eastern Conference over unders. Preseason has started. It's upon us. I'm getting real excited because I am a Boston Celtics fan, and you've seen all the moves we've had. But we're gonna start with the Hawks. Their over under is 41 and a half. This is one of my locks. We will all have four locks today. I'm locking this one in. Give me the over. I'm a big Quinn Snyder guy, and with everything that the Hawks got going on, they got a lot of returning pieces besides John Collins, and I think that the Hawks are going to surprise a lot of people and be at the top of the East. So
Yeah, no, I agree, Dom, with everything that you just said. This is also one of my locks for the Hawks over at 41.5. I just think, even with John Collins off the team, I think they actually get better. I just really like their roster. They're really deep, and I'm always been a Trae Young believer. I believe if you have a point guard that can shoot like that and distribute the ball, that you're going to be a good team if you put pieces around him, and they got that. So taking the Hawks here over as a lock.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm not gonna take it as a lock. But I do like the Hawks over. I think just their backcourt alone will win them a lot of games, and they're gonna score a lot of points throughout the season. So, I mean, like I said, I really do like the over on that.
Celtics, their over under is 54 and a half. Give me the over. I would definitely not lock this one. Who knows what's going to happen with Porzingis? Is he going to stay healthy? Who knows? There's a lot of question marks health wise. I mean, I guess we traded a couple of them away with Robert Williams and Malcolm Brogdon, so I'm feeling a little better. But, man, I think we'll be at the top of the East, one or two, so give me the over.
Yeah, no, I agree with this one as well. This is another lock of mine as well with the Celtics over. They probably, in my opinion, had the best offseason with the pieces they did bring in, with not only Porzingis, which is with his height and shooting ability, I think that's already a threat, adding that with the talent they already had. And then with the little Marcus Smart, I know that took to get Porzingis, getting that basically right back with Jrue Holiday. He's very underrated, probably one of the best defenders in the league, if not the best point guard defender. Yeah, this is an easy lock for me, over 54.5, even though it is hot.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the over, and I think I'm gonna lock this as well. Like you said, I think that the Celtics are gonna be at least like one or two in the Eastern Conference, and I feel like if you're gonna be even the 2 seed, you should be winning more than 55 games. That gives you what, like 25 games to lose or something like that, 26 games to lose.
Yep.
So, I mean, and we already know how Boston is at home, so that's already like half the games right there.
True.
Yeah, I really like that. If you're going to bet this, I mean, this is definitely one of the. You want to touch the better teams that you can kind of trust, and this is a team that you can definitely trust.
And they're deep.
They are
Not
very,
even
yeah.
just like their starting roster, they got bench players.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm excited.
We're going to the next one with the Nets at 37.5. Might surprise some people, but I'm taking an over here for the Nets. Not only, I know they blew up a lot of the season last year, wasn't kind of expecting how things played out, but hey, even with them blowing it up, they still have really good core pieces. I don't know if anyone caught any preseason at all, but Ben Simmons was playing and actually looked, might be a hot take, but he looked pretty good.
Shooting threes in pregame.
Yeah, I mean, he was looking good. His confidence looks back, and that's exciting because we haven't seen Ben like that in 2 years. So hopefully we're going to have a fully healthy Ben Simmons, and if so, this team could be one of those sneaky teams that are good. Obviously, we know Cam, Mikal Bridges. They got some players for sure. I'm taking the over here, and that's 37.5.
Yeah, this was a tough one for me, just because of that number. But give me the over. Like he said, Ben Simmons, man, I was always a bit with Ben guy back in them days. But give me the over. It's gonna be tough though.
Yeah, I could definitely see this team being like a middle of the pack team in the Eastern Conference, and
Yeah.
I mean, I think they get at least 40 wins. I wouldn't really trust them to do too much more than that, but I think that is a pretty good line for them. So
Yep.
take the over reluctantly. This really all comes down to if Ben Simmons is playing well and can Mikal Bridges put the team on his back.
Yeah, which they had 40 wins last year, so it's crazy that they put them this low. But
That is actually pretty
yeah.
something to think about. Yeah.
But the next team, the Hornets are 30.5. Give me the under, and I'm locking it. I don't see Brandon Miller and Miles Bridges adding 4 wins to this team.
Hmm.
I think they're a couple pieces away from getting past that 30 mark, and they might do it during the season, but with the new GM. But yeah, it's tough. I think somebody's got to lose games. I think we're going to see a lot of teams step up, and I don't think this is one of them.
Yeah, no, I agree. This team actually, like, I really like the Hornets organization just because they have some of my favorite players on their team. Like, for example, like Terry Rozier, I like him a lot. LaMelo Ball. We like Miles Bridges on the court. Him and that LaMelo connection, just like, it's so beautiful to watch. And their announcer hypes it up. And if anyone knows about the Hornets announcer.
Yeah, he goes nuts.
But like Dom said, they're still missing a lot of pieces. I still think they're a young team that's not matured. They do have the best player in the whole entire league with Kai Jones requesting a trade, though. That guy's off the drugs or something. I don't know if you guys seen him recently. He's tweaking.
Yeah.
But I do think the Hornets have a bright future under a new GM and a solid, good core, but they are nowhere near a playoff contending team, so I'm taking under here.
Yeah, I hate to steal locks and not really add too much to the conversation, but the Hornets are like still one of the worst teams in basketball. So it's hard, to bet on them to get more than 31 wins. Until they prove us wrong, yeah, I'm going to lock the under.
Charlotte's been historically bad since like 2005.
Since they got MJ.
Yeah, it's just not been. If anyone knows about that Bobcats run,
Woo-wee.
and that went back.
Bulls. The Bulls are 37.5. Give me the over, and I am locking this one. Yeah, it's basically the same team plus Javon Carter, the hometown kid. But I think Javon Carter could actually add a lot to this backcourt of no defense, and they need another defender, and I think Javon Carter has been a sleepy guy a lot of people don't know about, and you're going to wake up this year. I think Vooch stays healthy and wins them some games. I'm locking this one.
Yeah, I know this is also a lock. I know I'm taking some of your locks, Dom, but this one is another one I really like for the Bulls. They're a talented team. They were last year. They just didn't. It looked like the pieces just didn't play right together. But I'm hoping with an off season of just building chemistry, which is really big in basketball, is having chemistry. I think Zach LaVine's still very good. Like you said, Vucevic is still a good shooter, good defender. Yeah, this team's pretty solid. I think 37.8 is pretty low for him, so I'm going to take the over here.
Yeah, I don't really have an NBA team. I just really like watching some teams.
Mm-hmm.
And the Bulls last year, even though they weren't a great team, like I probably watched them more than any other team. And just watching Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan was just like, it's fun. They were two really good players, two all-star players. So I'm going to take the over. I mean, they're still not a playoff team to me, but I think the over is. I wouldn't lock it, but I'll take the over.
I think they could be a sneaky playoff team.
Yeah.
But pray for Lonzo Ball.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't talk, but his knee situation.
Yeah.
This is the second year in a row he's out, and there's no timetable of him returning.
Yeah.
There's been questions if he'll even be on the basketball court again, so we'll all hope for his health.
Yeah, we've been waiting for him to play.
He's a great guy, great player.
Yeah, we miss you, though.
For a while.
For sure. The Cavs are 50.5.
Man, this is my team. For anyone that doesn't know the podcast, man, I love the Cavs so much ever since I was little. And 50.5, I mean, they're back. They are back, baby. Another off season with full of chemistry. I really think some new pieces, which where we lacked really bad last year was 3-point shooting. Outside of Darius Garland and Mitchell, there was just really was our prime scoring when one of them weren't on the court. And it's just like it didn't look very solid. So what I'm really hoping for this upcoming year, Evan Mobley develops more of a deep threat shot. I think he's arguably could be a defensive player of the year candidate. And we also got two really good pickups in my opinion. Not like really insane pickups, but they're definitely depth filling pickups with Max Struss, which will play our wing and be that 3-point corner that we need.
Nate Sky.
Yeah, that is my guy.
And then we
Big
also
Max
got
Strus
Greg
guy.
Noon, who played back with Donovan Mitchell back in the Jazz, so we have some chemistry there. So I'm just hoping with the team that we have some depth now. I would like to maybe add a backup center somewhere in this roster, but besides that, I like this team taking it over here at 50.5, even though I do think it's a little high of a line.
Yeah, that's a good point. They need a backup big bad. Jared Allen's already hurt, but still give me the over. I think they're gonna sneak out. We know how good the West is. In the East, some teams are gonna take a step back. So give me the over.
I think the Cavs are going to be a really good team, but I think they're still a really young team, and 50.5 wins is a lot, especially when you compare that to the Bucks line and the Celtics line.
51 wins last year, though.
That is true.
So they're just asking for
So they're a
maybe
year.
better or worse.
Yeah,
But I think they got
just
better.
something you could think about. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Give me the over, but that's another like really reluctant team because I could see this team winning like 45 games.
Yeah,
Right.
like I said, the line's like it's the same as last year, like what we ended on. It's kind of just like, are they gonna be better or worse? No one really knows till we'll see it. But man, like as a Cavs fan, I know I'm talking because it's just my team. I love them so much. They haven't been good since like honestly like the LeBron era, which is honestly not too far. But after that LeBron left, we were kind of in shambles for a little bit. But man, we're back. I think Darius Garland's the future. We have Donovan Mitchell for at least this year and next year. So we just hope we can take advantage of this as we can, because we don't know what's going to happen extension talk wise. Why we have our core here, we really need. Like I think this will be the year we ball out, this year and next year. I'm taking the 51 over for sure.
This one I wanted to lock so bad. The Pistons are 27.5. Give me the over. I don't think you're gonna meet another guy on the street that likes Cade Cunningham as much as me. Coming out of Oklahoma State, I was all about the dude. And he's back. He doesn't have an overgrown beard like all the rumors were. He's just back, clean shaven, and he's ready to run, man. So between that and the Thompson twin, and I think that they're gonna win a lot more games than people think. So
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. This line's too low. I'm taking it over here, and I honestly might use my third lock here on the Pistons at 27.5. Even though they are a young team, this line's too low for what I think the talent that's on this team. Cade Cunningham's their point guard. Jay Ivey. They have a Thompson twin who could probably play shooting guard or forward. He kind of fits that 3-point. Like he's like a really good rookie. I really like him. High on him at least. The Thompson twins. And even coming down to like their backcourt with James Wiseman, Marvin Bagley, like this team's deep, and they also have who's their starting center that I really liked last year. I can't remember the name off the top of my head.
Well, I can't remember him either.
I don't know.
But yeah,
Jaden Ivey,
No.
Duran.
Duran,
Yeah,
Jalen Duran.
yeah. Okay, so I really like Duran. Even the some veterans in the league say he doesn't even play like he's a rookie because of how strong he is.
Yeah, he's a rim
So,
protector.
I think 27.5 is way too low. This is damn near a lock for me for an over. I could see them around 40 wins for real this upcoming year.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the over too. I think just on paper they're a better team than the Hornets, and you can even argue the Wizards,
Yeah, and that's
and
great.
even you can really even argue
The Magic.
the Magic.
Like,
Yeah,
if they're healthy, this team 27.5 is really low. I
So-
feel like for the Pistons.
Yeah. Like everybody talks about young cores around the league, OKC, all the teams, man. But nobody ever talks about the Pistons.
Yeah,
and they've been
it's
drafting
something.
really well.
They have
Mhm.
been, for sure.
Yep. The next team, the Pacers. My boy Tyrese, man, is 38.5. Somebody's got to lose these games if we're picking all these overs. And I think this is the team. Even with the Bruce Brown effect, I think it's the Nuggets effect, man, the Jokic effect. That I don't think the chemistry is just rolling with him as well. So, give me the under.
Yeah, I really like Tyrese Halliburton. I know the Kings are still kind of kicking themselves a little bit.
For
but
sure.
I just, that really is, like you said, I don't think the addition of Bruce Brown has really putting this team over the top.
Mhm.
And this Eastern Conference, like it's getting really competitive. So yeah, give me the under as well for the Pacers. Like 38, almost 40 wins. Like that's a lot. It's basically going
You're asking for almost
500.
a 500 team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I'm taking the under here with the Pacers. I do like their team, but I don't think they're anywhere near a playoff contending team with their current roster. I think Tyrese is really good. When talking about the Kings trade, I think it's a win-win both their scenarios for kind of how they wanted their teams built. So I don't really hate too much on that trade because it was actually one of the most fair trades you'll see in the league. But yeah, I mean, I don't think Miles Turner and Buddy Hield, which probably won't be on the team throughout the year if they're playing bad, probably be a trade target. If they're not playing good, I could definitely see them selling some of these pieces because they have such a young team. Start getting other players more playing time. I'm taking the under here.
Mm-hmm. The Heat,
Mm.
my rivals, man.
Mm.
My rivals year in year. But the over-under is 44.5. This is one of my locks, and it's the under.
Mm.
They lost heat culture, guys. I seen your guys' new statement jerseys. Those are bad. Heat culture on the front of your jersey. We're getting desperate.
They lost what? Struce, Vincent.
Lost Struce, Vincent. Tyler Hero, he still wants to play for him, but I mean, you just marketed the guy for how many months, and you expect him to come back
Probably
and
too.
yeah. So, give me the under. I think they could even be in the play-in once again. They were in the play-in last year. They lost some players, so I mean, they were literally in the last 2 minutes. They came back and beat the Hawks, but they could have not made the playoffs, and
Yeah.
people forget that.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm not saying what they did last year wasn't special because it was.
Oh, it was special.
Having a team that was like, I think going into last year's playoffs, I had the Heat like not even probably gonna make it out the play-in, and they almost didn't. For them to actually make a run and go into the finals, I thought I'm not gonna be too much on it because it was definitely impressive, but I think it was a little bit more of a fluke coming off of some of the players last season. Especially like losing Vincent and Stress, like you might not look it on paper, but those are big losses because those players played a lot on that team. And their offseason wasn't very impressive to me. I do like that rookie they got. I forget his name, but he's like a white boy with long hair. He's pretty good. Jokic should start seeing some playing time, and he's a pretty solid piece. But I just think with those two stepping in and losing some of that players in that playoff run, I don't see them being as good as they were last year. But I could see maybe a sneaky play-in again for him. But I am taking under here for sure.
Yeah. Like I said, I hate to take, the same locks, but I think this is a pretty safe. Like if you are gonna lock something, it is the under for the Heat.
Mm-hmm.
Just like we already said, the departures that they've had, it's such a big loss. Those two dudes ate up so many minutes of them last year, especially towards the end of the year when they were getting real hot. So I don't think Jimmy Butler Bam is still a really good player, but it's Jimmy Butler, Bam, and the corpse of Kyle Lowry.
Which we always see these guys step up, but it's not until the playoffs. They're not a regular season team, so.
And I do have questions with Tyler Hero. I don't think Tyler Hero is bad by any means, but coming off a broken hand as a shooter, that's real tough in my opinion. I don't think it was on his shooting hand, which is good, but it's still your lead hand. I don't know. I think we'll come off a slow start, but I think they'll kick in the roll around mid-season.
Yep. The Knicks are 45.5. If the Heat take a step down, I think the Knicks take a step up. I think they win more regular season games. Man, I would love to see Coach Tibbs out of there, but he's not. But he'll win you regular season games, man. He really will. This Knicks team, new look with Dante DiVincenzo. I think that's going to help a lot. Villanova Knicks, man. That's what they are. So, yeah, give me the over.
I'm going to lock the over. I think the way that Brunson was starting to heat up towards the end of the year last year, like that will carry on into the season. And as long as Randall doesn't just poop the bed every night
yeah,
and, can give them a consistent 20, 25 points, like this Knicks team, they're going to score a lot of points and they're going to be super competitive this year. And like you said, I think they kind of take that step forward while other teams in the East are which we'll get to another team later. But I think, yeah, some of these teams that you've seen at the top in the past few years are going to take a step down, and these new teams are going to rise to the occasion, like the Knicks and the Cavs.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with both your guys' points with the Knicks. I think Dante was definitely one of the biggest pickups for this team in the offseason. I think it was actually a really good scheme move. I'm a really big believer in Dante just because of the energy he plays with, his defense, and he can definitely shoot the ball when needed. I think he's a really good depth player, but this Knicks team does have depth on top of that as well, from the starters to the bench. Coming back in with their main core with Brunson, Randall,
Barrett,
yeah, Mitchell Robinson. Like I like their team a lot. I really do. It's a good team on paper. Good offense and defense, if I had to say. But yeah, I like them last year. I like them again this year. I'm taking them over.
All right, man. The new look Bucks are 54.5.
so
Highest line so far?
Same as the Celtics.
Okay.
This is such a tough line because we haven't seen it, so who knows? But that's a lot of wins, man. And give me the under. I think they are a 50-win team, but 55 wins, it's a different story. So give me the under.
I just like, you compare them to the Celtics, and like you can make the argument that the Bucks have the better starting five, but I think the Celtics just outclass them so much in the depth, and like that's really what's going to matter especially when it gets late into the season. Man, that is a lot of wins. I'm going to take the over reluctantly just because I think that this is a team that's going to score a lot of points. The addition of Damian Lillard, adding a 30 points per game scorer, like, that's definitely going to help. And Giannis finally gets somebody with the bag.
Pick and roll partner.
Yeah, for sure. This is Giannis' first actual superstar
Yeah.
he's playing with. So it's definitely exciting. This is on paper, this is a great team. But every year, I feel like every year there's always a really good expected team, and they come out and not flat, but they don't play as good to the expectations. And I could see this coming for the Bucks. Obviously, this is one of the biggest names on the market, Damian Lillard, and he's playing with another huge name, Giannis. I think their pick and roll chemistry is going to be really good. You got Middleton, who can still do his mid-range magic and still play the three as a wing. He's going to be good. But yeah, I don't think the depth's as solid as some of these other teams you play. I like Brook Lopez a lot too. Like their starting core is really good, but when it comes into these bench players, because they're not going to be able to be on the court every single time together. So
Yeah, bench is
bench really is underrated when it comes to the NBA. It's definitely important, and I think they're lacking a little bit in their bench. But I feel like this team is going to be the team that everyone expects to be the best team, and they might kind of fall into the 4th or 5th in the Eastern Conference. I can see maybe in that range. I'm taking the under here.
I don't think they fall any lower than 4, but
I don't think they will. I think they're going to be a solid team, but 55 wins, you're asking to lose 20 games a season.
Yeah. All right, the Magic are 37.5. I'm taking the under here. I think the Magic, for how many seasons now, have been trying to find their identity at point guard, and they draft another one with Anthony Black, who still can't shoot, and all your point guards can't shoot. So I just think they need a real point guard, man, and they didn't go out and get one to play with Banchero or nothing. So give me the under.
Yeah, I 100% agree. They're kind of using Banchero almost as their point guard, kind of how they were last year. He ran a lot of their down, he'll start with the ball and then the play starts on offense. I think Marco Fultz, if I had to take a hot take, I think he'll have a little bit of a jump. Obviously, he was a first-round pick for a reason, first overall pick. And then he kind of had that weird thing going on with his mind and his shooting ability.
Yeah.
He's found it back a little bit, but I just really hope that he can find his full way, because he could be a sneaky player that could be most improved. I don't know. I like this Magic team a lot. They do have a great young roster as well.
Mm-hmm.
But 37.5 right now is a little high for them, just not seeing it on the court yet. And I don't really necessarily like their off-season moves too much. I'm going to take an under here.
Yeah, I'm actually going to lock in the under. It sucks that we're all kind of taking the same thing, so there's not much of a debate.
Hey.
But, these are teams that, I like the pieces that they have, with Franz Wagner and Paolo, but it's a young team, and until I feel like it's gonna be another probably 2 to 3 years until this team like really blossoms into a competitor. So
Yeah.
I think until they prove me wrong, like I'm just gonna lock in the under here.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of crazy. I'm looking at some of these. I've agreed with every over and under so far.
Which is all right because
But it's like what I actually like. I would genuinely pick too.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I think that the East is easier than the West,
The West
and
will be debating.
maybe you should take a timeout and fades and take some of these, man. You should take some of these, parlay them together because you can't do that in the NBA. But the 76ers are at 48.5, and if there was one I would not bet, I wouldn't even touch it. Is the 76ers?
That's a
Who
good
knows what
point.
they're gonna look like? But gun to my head, give me the under. I could see James Harden never playing again. He's that stubborn. But yeah, give me the under.
Oh, yeah, this all comes down to James Harden. Like, I said this, like, probably the second or third episode of this podcast. James Harden is the biggest diva in the NBA, and it's not even a debate.
Sports.
Not even a debate. The amount of, like, championship winning teams that he could have, like, stayed on, like, not that they won a championship, but they had the potential to win a
Yeah.
championship. It boggles my mind every time I hear a report about him being upset with the place that he's at. I'm going to just take everything for what it is right now. We're going to assume that James Harden plays. I'm going to take the over, but like Dom said, I wouldn't bet this line at all. Avoid this line.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm actually riding with Dom here on the under 48.5. But I think a lot of 76er fans this offseason had big expectations, and not a single thing happened for them. They actually had probably the worst offseason. And I know a lot of those fans and even even the player base was just like really confused, like what is going on right now. Like they didn't make any moves. I don't think they're good enough to. I can't say that. They could definitely compete, but with too many question marks in the air, I don't like betting on James Harden being satisfied here this year. I'm taking an under.
Yeah. The Raptors, they're at 36.5.
Another young team.
This is my lock. I'm taking an under here. For the
You're locking
Raptors.
it under? Yeah, give me the under. No Van Fleet now. I think Siakam's going to play really well and
Yeah.
try to get himself out of there by the trade deadline, and I think it could happen. And we could be looking at an absolutely depleted Raptors team trying to get the ball to Grady Dick and see what they got. So, give me the under.
Yeah, I see this Raptors team kind of like. It sucks when you have a player like Pascal. But like you said, I feel like the best direction for this franchise right now is you don't tank, but they're not going to win a whole lot of games. And like you said, if they do end up dealing someone like Siakam at the trade deadline, I mean, that wouldn't surprise me. Get the assets while you can and try to build for a brighter future, especially since you won a championship within the last 5 years.
Yeah.
I think you've kind of earned that right to rebuild.
And they got pieces that people want. They got Gary Trent, Jakob Poeltl, OG, who they want 4 picks for, and Dennis Schroeder, who until you get Olympic Dennis Schroeder, then this is a 50-win team. No, I'm just playing, but yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, no. This Raptors team is just, I feel like they're on their last leg before a rebuild. Just kind of see teams do this, just kind of picking some fillers, but they're going to be a team that's shopping around this trade deadline. They're not going to be a playoff contending by any means. They definitely don't have the roster for that, and they're still young. They're going to try to get some assets and start trying to build around their new rookies that they're bringing in and younger players. So, yeah, this is definitely a lock for an under for me. I don't see much of a direction, and I don't even think they know what direction they're going to move in.
That's a sneaky lock.
Yeah.
Sneaky lock.
All right, last team, man. The Wizards are 23.5. Give me the over. I wanted to lock this one too. They had 33 wins last year, and
they got Jordan
they
Poole,
obviously
man.
got worse. But I'm not a big pool party guy.
I'm a big pool party guy.
Give me the over.
Lock in the over. Jordan Poole, Kyle Kuzma. They're gonna be the next.
What after that?
Hey, it doesn't matter.
But real quick. He's talking about Jordan Poole. One stat I do want to throw out there is everybody's wondering why. We'll talk about it next week, but why the Warriors got Chris Paul. Well, if you looked at the numbers last year, when Steph Curry was on the court, they were the number one offense in basketball. When Steph Curry wasn't running the show and Jordan Poole was running the show, they were the worst offense in basketball. And we're about to see the whole offense ran through Jordan Poole, and it's about to be something, man. We're about to
Amazing.
see. Yeah, it's about to be a fun team to
Jordan
watch.
Poole is about to average
Yeah.
20 a game.
I'm taking. I know it's 23.5, and I know we talked about this, Dom. This team can score the ball for sure, but they're like that sneaky team. Like once a week, you'll have them. Oh, this is a guarantee lock, and they'll somehow win the game.
Yeah.
That's what I see the Wizards as. But I'm taking the under here at 23.5. Their roster is depleted. I'm not hating on Jordan Poole as a scorer because he's a really good scorer, but I have my questions on him being a leader for a team and kind of being the face of that franchise. So I'm going to kind of take it under here. But
Yeah.
it wouldn't surprise me if they did hit the over.
And if you've been rocking with us for a minute, you know that pool party reference.
Yeah. Shout to Deal. All right, y'all. This was our NBA edition, man. We're gonna be back every week with 2 episodes on YouTube, 1 NFL, 1 NBA. I'm excited for the NBA once again. We've never seen more parity than now, man. And who knows who's gonna win this? So
And real quick, check out our TikToks. I feel like we're
Yeah.
gonna be posting a lot of TikToks, whether that's like parlays for the NBA games or NFL games. Like, check us out on other social medias because we really are trying to build more than just our YouTube right now.
for sure. But it was real, y'all.
Peace.